Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive good God and truth of your lives, only crossing to an absolute bigger and better. If you've seen anything that I have posted or any of the videos or posts that I've released, you will know that I state that to state one more positive than negative always, right, is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, holy with spirit, all will ever know or be. It's the only state all prayers are answered in, all miracles happen in, all dreams come true in, and it's the only heavenly abode you will ever know or be in. To state one more positive than negative is the substance, durability, and solidness of everything good as truth to their shape, form, and mass. The buildings, trees, you, me, everybody of everything, creation applied one to the here and now existence of all, God, truth, reality check. But if you don't know this, right, then you live and are deceived by the faith of you at any time, because if you don't know that only cross one more positive, the negative always is the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And that good as truth is only to an absolute bigger, better here and now of you alive and well. You won't always state that way. And through your faith, you will state that things either cross bad, evil, or sinful, or any good as truth that you know will not be lasting. It will always be fleeting, because you won't always know that the only way to stay connected, good as truth, to your life is to be more positive than negative always as the forefront of your existence. And in reality, right, this is why you suffer out of existence, age out, decay, disintegrate, and die, for no other reason. Listen to me, I don't care if it's one atom or a mountain of atoms, okay? If that matter created by the particles of atoms, right, are stated more evolved, more positive than negative, they are stated good as truth and cannot be destroyed. And again, I don't care if it's you, me, the buildings, trees, anybody of anything, anywhere. If it's stated more positive than negative, it's stated good as truth. And the absolute bigger, better of all atom, matter, creation of existence, just stated good as truth, more positive than negative, cannot be destroyed to the reality check of their shape, form, and mass. And if you're a man or a woman, you can only cross bigger and better, the bigger and better of alive and well. All creation of existence, every matter stated of all solid, liquid, gas, plasma, the buildings, trees, you, me, everybody of everything you will ever know, right, is only created and stated right here and now more positive than anything negative about it, good as the truth of its shape, form, and mass evolved to reality check. And if not, right, it's not bad, evil, or sinful. It's just in a state of negative decay and disintegration to the reality check of its atom matter, staying evolved, good as truth as it's here and now, shape, form, and mass. And I'll explain. All creation of existence is made of atom matter. All solid, liquid, gas, plasma you can think of, okay? And this atom matter is made of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Now, science will try and tell you that there's such things as gluons, and there's a Higgs boson, and everything from there's antimatter, and all the particles have different antimatters and stuff like this. But this is why they don't equate out. You see what I'm saying? That's why they can't get with the theory of everything that what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay, inside all atom matter creation of existence, right? Well, we'll just say it like this, okay? From the smallest Planck length of existence, right? It's just an energy source, one more positive than all negativity. When this energy adds up and makes protons and neutrons, it does it by the energy becoming quark energy inside of them. A proton has two up quarks, one down quark, and a neutron has two down quarks, one up quark, okay? Now, a proton can never be destroyed, okay? But a neutron, right, is always unstable as the reality check of its matter without being always more positively protonically overwhelmed than its negative neutron matter. It's not neutral. The atom isn't neutral. And if this atom isn't stabilized more positive than negative on the periodic chart, it's stated unstable and radioactive. And this is what happens when the neutron, right, isn't stabilized always more positive and protonic than anything negative about it. They're two separate polarities, okay? And they both come from this quark energy that comes from the Planck length of existence, the smallest circuit of energy there is. It only adds up to make this quark energy inside of the protons and neutrons. And as long as the protons overwhelm the neutrons, right, bigger and better than any of the electrons field of them, right, they make an indestructible atom, okay? Now, here's the thing about it, right? No other creature, creation of existence except a man or a woman, right, can digest the fact that if you do more positive than negative, it will always state you good as truth, right? Only to an absolute bigger, better here and now view. And if the sun didn't shine more protonic, right, than anything negatively neutronic about the earth, right? No life as we know it can keep existing. If you don't shine more positive and protonic than anything negatively neutronic about your life, right, you can't keep existing, okay? And here's how it happens, right? Every time you cross negative with negativity, right, through faith, not knowing to always cross all you are back more positive, to only add up, stay, and be good as truth, right? Well, you can only cross negative with negativity through the faith of you, because all else is only crossing all negative things more protonic to be good as truth. So when you crisscross with this faith, right, it causes the neutrons inside your atoms to become unstable, okay? And through them becoming unstable, it's a snake on the matter of you, because the neutron is the soul and the matter of you, and it's a total opposite polarity than a proton. But it's always needing to be overwhelmed more positive, so the negative of it is nothing. That's why when they read the signature of a neutron inside of an atom, now they say a neutron has no electrical charge. Well, that's a lie on the neutron. The neutron's always negatively deficient of a proton, and outside of an atom, this neutron's always in a state of radioactive decay and disintegration, either by itself or in a neutron star. And over time, it turns into a pulsar, and what happens is it collapses into a black hole abyss, just infinitely negative of the here and now of it, right? And this is what you do to your body when you don't overwhelm it always more positive than anything negative about it. You crisscross a snake, a he shafting snake on your matter, and anytime you cross negative with negativity is the incarnate he shafting devil of all people, places, and things. And because no faith teaches it, right, and no leadership only values it, right, in reality they teach that things cross bad, evil, and sinful through this articulation of faith around the world. And the reason why it matters is because through this articulation, right, they state victims, crooks, prisons, jails, wars, and the conflicts, convicts of us, and only instead of only sparing no expense to cross all, we are and they are back one more positive, always to keep us good as truth because of the bias of their faith. And in reality, right, they're teaching suicide to all they love, cherish, and hate. Don't hate. Listen to me, man, right? So anyways, when you crisscross with this faith, negative with negativity, because all faith is only one way, always negative to what is good as truth, okay? Because in reality, if your faith was always good as truth for you, right, then that's all you would be for your faith. But we all know that no faith is absolutely good as truth. Now, there's positive variables to all faith, right? But none of them teach to only connect more positive than negative to keep you good as truth. If they did, they wouldn't be faith. They'd be the good God and truth of your reality check, only crossing bigger and better. And when you crisscross with this faith over a volume of time, it's a negative snake of energy, negative with negativity on you. It's a bushwhack, right? It's a nutty, fruity bushwhack, and it has you hallucinating that your life is crossed bad, evil, or sinful. Or you're growing old and you're aging out of reality, right? And in reality, right, no faith respects the body. And because of it, you're in a constant state of decay and disintegration, because all faith teaches you that someday you will have to die. And in reality check, you were never created to die, but it can happen to you. You hear me? And I'll explain that to you. And over a volume of time, through this faith articulation, right, your body's matter, the neutrons of it, can't sustain itself more positive than negative. The only way you're prescribed here and now, right, good as the truth of your shape, form, mass, and you collapse into a black abyss, just infinitely negative of you here and now, with the devilish hells of you forevermore, okay? And because no faith teaches it and no faith values it, right, in reality check, our leadership, right, the governance of us, the judgment of us, the prosecutions of us are invalid, man, because in reality, right, they're unqualified to be the leadership of us and to be the leadership of their own lives, right, because they're only teaching unevolved suicide to all we love, cherish, and are, man. Don't hate. Listen to me. And in reality check, I've been doing this online since about 2013. But I know that I'm being played with. I'm being toyed with. It's a gamey. It's a gamey way. Faith. See, I want to show you something, man. Right? If you plug a plug into the wall, right, the positive of it, right, the male of it better outweigh anything female about that plug, okay? Female matter of that plug, negative female matter about that plug. Because if it doesn't, either you'll burn your house down or you won't have enough energy to sustain. But as long as it does, right, there's zero chance you can burn your house down or you won't have enough energy for your home to sustain. Okay, you're half male and you're half female. Only cross more male with positive, with protonic energy than anything female negativity about you. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And there's a zero chance that if you do that, you won't only cross absolutely alive and well, bigger and better for it. Because in reality check, there's a zero chance that any atom matter creation of existence that's more positive than anything negative about it, right, is not stated good as truth and cannot only cross to an absolute bigger, better here and now of its shape, form, and mass. And again, if it's a man or a woman, it's alive and well. And like I said, man, all faith is gamey. It's all biased to the reality check of each other. Like if you're a Muslim, Christian, Jew, a Hindu, a Buddhist, all these things are biased. Now you may have a a a more positive faith than another faith, but in reality check, that faith doesn't always teach you to only stay that way, that's the only good God and truth of you in reality check. And this is the conflicts of all things creation of existence, where it's not stated more positive than negative. It's no good as truth. You hear me? And in reality check, if you don't know that, you're always living in conflict with the world, and you're always living in conflict with yourself. And nothing that you are, right, only equates to the absolute bigger, better of you here and now. And in reality check, how can it? Because in reality, you're not living under the correct articulation of it. Okay? Now, Jesus was only a man, right, who was always one more positive than all negativity. When they put him on the cross, he was good. That was the truth, okay? That was the reality check of his life, and the bigger and better of his here and now matter. Because listen to what I'm telling you. You can't kill something more positive than negative. To the reality check of it, it states it good as truth, and it can only be bigger and better here and now than all negativity to the good truth of its shape, form, and mass. Okay? Alive and well, if it's a man or a woman. And a thief understood that, and he stowed his life back with Jesus. Why that fool of faith and all them other fools of faith hung their lives out negative as hell to one neutral nothing of them, just infinitely negative of them here and now. And the thief was the one who rode back to the tomb, let Jesus out, send him on his way alive and well, because you can't kill something more positive than negative. That states it good as truth. That was the good God and truth of Jesus Christ, and the bonding thief and Holy Spirit out of all God, truth, reality check, I am, right? And the reality check of the thief who released him from that tomb, okay? Mary seen the thief, right? She said, what? Where's Jesus? He said, I just let him out. He went that way. She gave him a kiss and called him an angel. And that's how this story went. Now listen to what I'm telling you. The reason why it went that way is because, again, man, if you plug a plug into the wall, right, the male, the positive male, has to outweigh any negative female way about it. The more positive protonic energy has to outweigh anything negatively neutronic about the matter of it, or you will either burn your house down, right, or you won't have enough energy for it to sustain. And all else, right, is that energy being more positive than negative, good as the truth of God of your house, and there's zero chance you can burn it down. It's the same with your body. It's the same with your life. Listen to me. We were he shafted. We were Shiva shafted by a snake god devil, right? First, he snaked the world, okay, by making it less than what is more positive always to keep us good as truth. The earth used to be a true sister reflection of the Son of God, of all I am, the good truth of God, of the thieving Holy Spirit out. At every point on earth there was a pyramid, okay? And in reality check, at every point in time and space, holy with the Spirit of God I am, right? The Atom man, the Atomist man evolved of all I am. And like I said, the earth was a true sister reflection with pyramids all over all, right? Reflecting back mankind and God, one good together as the truth of the Atomist man. The Atom man evolved of all I am. And at every point there was a pyramid, there was a God king. And Adam of the Holy Bible was the God and the king and the creator of all of it. And he was the good truth of the life of Jesus Christ. Only one more positive than all negativity. But when the earth was he shafted, right, by faith, 1/3 of the angels rebelled, which are just God kings, which are just men, right? And because of this, right, they shafted the world. They made it less than positive to keep the neutronic matter of the earth good as truth. And the only hospitable place at that point was the Garden of Eden. Now, here's the thing about it. Just like Shiva is a snake god devil that shafted the earth, right? Less than positive to keep it good as truth, right? Every time you take on faith, right? You take on, it's the Hindu Sindhu that you do, right? Because it's a she-he shaft of the snake god devil on you, because every time you crisscross with faith instead of more positive to do what's good as truth, you're a snake on your matter. You're a snake on the neutrons of you, less than positive to keep you good always as truth. And like I said, if the sun doesn't shine more positive than anything negatively neutronic about the earth, life as we know it's the reality check of mankind can't exist or keep existing. And if you don't shine more positive and protonic than anything negatively neutronic about you, right, your life as you know it won't and can't keep existing. And that's just a fact. And this is how we were shafted with faith. Listen to me. Adam came to himself in a garden. He couldn't get his bearings on reality. He knew he was an atomic man. He was created good as truth, right? Never to be destroyed, never to die. And he was eons and eons old at that point. He was fully grown, right? But here's the reality check of it, right? He didn't always know how to keep connected to it, more positive than negative. He lost that articulation through Shiva shafting the world. And he woke up and Eve was at his rib and at his side, and she knew not what was good as truth, okay? She was part of a less evolved species of mankind at the time that was part of Shiva's shafting hierarchy that was put to Adam. Not that she was a part of it, but Shiva made sure that she was a part of Adam's bearings on reality, and he couldn't get them, so he turned to the faith of Eve, nutty and fruity, right? A bushwhack and snake on his matter, and he lived 930 years after that, right? Aging out, suffering out, and dying out, right? Negative as hell to what is good as truth with his faith articulation. If Adam would have crossed Eve back only one more positive than all nutty, fruity hallucinations of negativity, right? The bad, evil, sinful way of all, right? Well, that's all we would have been, as good as truth. And Jesus knew it. And that's why he set the example that never dies. He didn't die for the hallucinations of mankind. You can't kill something more positive than negative. That's the good God and truth of it. That's the good truth of God, of Jesus Christ, right? And that's the only absolute bigger, better of all, atom, matter, evolved creation of existence again. So if Adam would have only crossed Eve back one more positive, then all that nutty, fruity, he shafting snake god devil faith, the Hindu Sindhu that you do, right? Yahweh of faith, Yada Bayos way of faith, you'd be way off with the faith of you, right? These are all articulations of being shafted by the devil of Samuel, the Samuel spirit. And they're all one same entity in this garden, calling itself God and Yahweh of the Jews. You understand? The menorah is a Shiva lingam. You hear me? It's a shafting light. You hear me? It's a Jewish jip of faith. And in reality check, when you take on any of these faiths, you're always in a state of decay and disintegration for it, because no faith only articulates what's good as truth. To only cross always back more positive, the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, bigger and better than all negativity, when you feel all. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die, age out or die, of being more positive than anything negative about you. In reality check, that's the bigger, better here and now of your shape, form, and mass. And I'll prove it with my body and yours. Anytime you feel any deficiencies, weaknesses in your body, right? You have four major muscle groups: arms, legs, chest, and stomach, right? Only work whatever area that is with your motion until you have a really, really extreme burn with medium resistance. When that muscle group starts burning, right? Put down the weight, right? And rest. You'll feel a bigger, better blow to that area. It's impossible, right? To shrivel up, decay, disintegrate, or die of only doing your four major muscle groups that way whenever you feel any deficiencies in them, okay? And all else, heart, lungs, chest, and organs. Heart, lungs, and organs will be worked as a secondary to those primary muscle groups being worked. Do it 1 to 3 times. Any more or any less is just either too much or not enough. You understand? And do it whenever you feel any weakness. Because in reality check, this is how you build your body bigger and better than shriveling up, aging out of existence and dying of it. You hear me? You can't grow old, shrivel up, decay, disintegrate, or die of only Christ crossing more positive than anything negative about your body and your life in reality check. And you can't do anything else but be good as truth for it. And that's a fact of God check. Listen to me. You can tell an animal, right, like a monkey or a doggy, sit, stay, lay, good boy, good, bad girl, good girl, right? They'll understand those simple commands, but they will never understand to only bring back all they are of negativity, only one more positive than all the negativity of them, to keep themselves good. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, only to an absolute bigger, better here and now, as a predictor of you alive and well. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die. That the smartest animal will never understand that. How about you? Listen to me. We have been deceived by a lack of knowledge, by a false understanding of reality check. You weren't created to die. And I don't care if you're 7 days old or 7 million years old. If you die out, right, it's a sad state of affair, because your life, right, one, you're a child of God. And that Yahweh of the Bible is the damn devil, and that Shiva of the Hindus is the damn devil, right? And all these gods that articulate mankind to fight with one another for one good reason or another, right, is a lie on what's good as truth. Because you should never have your children, right, killing each other out and conquering each other for nothing. Okay? Listen to me. In reality, if you did that to your own children, right, they'd arrest you. You understand? You should never cage your children, right? And the God of this world, right, the religious people of this world think it's okay to cage you, to despise you because you ain't got no sense. It's because they ain't got no sense either. You hear me? Because you don't do that. Listen to me. You don't create negative with negativity, man. You hear me? Because when you do that, right, it's the incarnate out she, he, shaft, and devil of you, on you and of you. You hear me? And you're committing suicide to it. Not one thing creation of existence got any bigger and better, more positive, for being more negative to it when it's negative. That does not happen in reality, and it's unqualified leadership to articulate and state the world this way. And I'm calling all of you out, man, because this is nonsense. You hear me? It's nonsense. Anywhere, any place, anytime, man. If you think that your judgment is better than mine, right? If you think that your faith is better than what's good as truth. Well, I'm calling you out. Prove it. Because it's not, and it never will be. Because in reality, you live a lie of falsehoods, man. You live a lie on what is good as truth, because through faith you can never be consistently lasting more positive than negative to keep you good as truth. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, your life is flickering out of existence from the time you take on this faith till you die of it. You hear me? And all this stuff that science teaches us that's outside the reality of what's physical and what you can state only good to the truth of your shape form mass, to the reality of your matter and the energy of it, is a lie on you, man. Listen to me. Antimatter, get out of here, man. These are virtual particles. Come on, man. This existence is made of positive and negative charges. And all the way from the Planck length of existence, right? Everything can be brought down to the smallest point of it. That's where it starts, and it only gets bigger and better from that point. It's not the other way around. There's no big bang to this, man. It's Planck length energy that adds up all creation of existence. It adds up to the reality of atoms. It adds up to the reality of the energy, of the protons and the neutrons. And through the bonding mechanism of these atoms, right, depending on their protons and neutrons count, is depending on where they're at in the periodic table. And depending on the electron field around them is how they're articulated to their matter. Now, to their bonding matter, and to state anything else, right? Higgs bosons and this and that, it's just a lie, and it's a manipulative lie. See, they know that if you don't know what's good as truth and you can't believe, right, to only do more positive than negative, right? In reality, right, they can manipulate you, man. But by us being sold out to the hierarchies of us in this way, right? And I say we're sold out because I've been doing this since 2013. I've made since almost 20 years ago. You hear me? It's just a distorted lie, you see. And now they're using this artificial intelligence. When you ask questions about science, right? It's beyond fake. Because they've got these bots and they've got these Google algorithms programmed unreal. So if all you can get is unreal knowledge, right? Okay, then in reality, how can you ever know what's good as truth? Well, I'll tell you, you can take a good look around the world. You can say to yourself, is this guy crazy? Or can I always go do something more positive than negative if I have a mind to? Will that always keep me good as truth? You hear me? Will the good truth of you from that only be bigger and better here and now, alive and well, with all you love and cherish for it? You can go test this. You can go get feasible results to the reality check of you. All else is some fools talking about colliders and Higgs bosons and anti-particles and it's all nonsense, big bang phooey. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And I'm gonna tell you something else too. If you do go and you only preset yourself to be more positive than negative, right? Anywhere creation of existence, just with that articulation alone. Okay, we take the whole atom matter aspect of it out of it. But anything that's stated more positive than negative is stated good as truth. The buildings, trees, you, me, anybody of anything. You hear me? It's the substance, durability, and solidness of all. God, truth, reality check of gas, plasma. I mean, shoot, everything. Okay, anything that you can think of, right? To the reality check of its shape, form, and mass here and now to be more positive than negative is the good truth of it, shape, form, and mass, solid, liquid, gas, plasma, right? Only crossing to a bigger, better here and now reality check of it. And just to put the atom matter spin back on it, right? Anywhere creation of existence, atom matter, right? By the physics and laws of all known matter, is more positive than anything negative about it. It's stated good as truth and it can't be destroyed. And this was the absolute articulation Adam got he shafted out of with Eve, okay? And in reality check, this was the megalithic world of the pyramids prior to getting snaked by this Shiva shafting snake god devil, this articulation of Yahweh, Yada-Baoth, your way of faith. You'd be way off with the faith of you. You understand? In reality check, man, these are all one same entity. The earth was inhospitable, all but in the garden, and this devil god, this snake god, knew it. And he knew how to snake Adam to always keep his mind whacked out, right? With faith, so he'd never come back good as truth in reality check. And this is why he suffered out and died 930 years later, and all his descendants, right? All the way up to the here and now, good God and truth of all reality check I am, the Christ crossing good God and truth of the thief and Holy Spirit out of all I am, has been doing nothing but dying out for it. You understand? Listen to me, man. Don't die out foolishly, blind leading blind with faith. You understand? You could take everything that I've told you and you can always go do something bigger and better in your life than letting it be destroyed with lies of faith. If you only appreciate yourself to only cross more positive than negative, your life will only add up, stay, and be good as truth. Only to an absolute bigger, better of you here and now, alive and well. You can't help by being blindsided with negativity. We all have to deal with that. You understand? But you can always be more positive than any bad, evil, sinful way that a fool states on you by only doing the bigger and better of the negativity. Once you stop acting like a fool over it, right? Or you stop being blindsided over it, you can always go do something more positive than negative for it. And if you do, your life and all you love will be good as truth. You will only be blessed. They will only be blessed for you by example, by articulation. There's no bigger, better example or articulation that you can have for yourself and the world around you, from the mind to the body to the world. You hear me? And that is a fact of God check. From the full thief man, God, King Adamus of all mankind, God, truth reality check. I am the Father of all mankind, who is lasting, more positive than negative, good as truth. Because if you ever are, right, in reality check, it's only because of what I've stated here and now to you today and what I've been stating for the bigger, better of 20 years. And that's a fact of God check. God, truth, reality check. Peace.